Today's video game is being brought to you by McDonald's, because McDonald's produces high-quality video games, much like your ass produces high-quality shit. Good evening, YouTube. The Overlord here with yet another review. This time we're not going as far into the ship barrel to pull out a game, but we're still going pretty deep. Mick and Mack as the global gladiators for the Sega Genesis sucks. In full honesty though, I knew what to expect before I even got to playing it thanks to the intro music. Just take a listen and you'll see what I mean.
Are you ready? Yeah! Cool! Are you ready? Awesome! Yeah!
Alright, that's enough of that. Don't want to drive too many people away from this game before I even had a chance to review it. Now, if your taste into intro music is bad enough, you'll get the chance to see the fucked up storyline this game has to offer. Apparently, these two posers are reading a comic book at McDonald's, since all the cool kids do that apparently. When out of nowhere, Ronald McDonald shows up. I guess he slips the kids a heroin-laced Big Mac, and the two accidents go on a drug trip thinking that they're these comic book heroes called global gladiators. You can just feel yourself getting engrossed in the story, huh? In full honesty though, I could be wrong about the storyline. I mean, for all I know, the story is that these kids are on their way to the nearest convenience store to try and steal a Playboy magazine. Your guess to the story is as good as mine. As for the plot, I have no idea what it is. Seriously, this game gives you no main villain as far as I know, and there's no real story worth mentioning. All you do in this game is collect as many golden arches as you can find, try your damn hardest to stay alive, and make it to the end of each level. At the end of the levels, Ronald McDonald waves you in with a racing flag for who knows what reason, and golden arches fall from the fucking sky. Could Virgin have sold out for any more than they already have? This isn't so much a game as it is a commercial for McDonald's. Alright, so the game's story and plot are virtually non-existent, and the whole game is actually a propaganda instrument by McDonald's to encourage kids to eat at their restaurants. That doesn't mean the game's bad, especially when there are so many other things that can fuck the game over. The first thing you're going to notice when beginning the game are the controls. They stink. I'm not going to go as far as saying that they're broken, but they're still pretty bad. When you first try to move your character left or right, he moves slowly and sluggishly. Mind you, he will pick up speed, but even this is crippled to hell and back. Why, you may ask? Because then he moves so fast that you don't have enough time to react to enemies or pits coming up unless you're already expecting them. This makes the game about as much fun as sticking your foot under a jackhammer. The extent to how bad these controls are made especially clear when you're being attacked. Due to how fast your character moves, you'll often find yourself running right into the enemy, and even if you do stop in time to kill them, all the speed you used to have vanishes, leaving you to move at a snail's crawl yet again. Also, if there are enemies just off screen when you stop, they'll attack you. Yes, enemies can attack you from off screen. When this happens, expect to get hit, since you'll most likely not be able to move fast enough to avoid their attacks, and that's if you even notice their attacks coming, as the attacks are so small that you'll most likely not notice them unless they kill you. And what are you, the almighty hero, the global gladiator, given as a weapon to combat these cheap attacking enemies? A goo-filled super soaker. The most powerful weapon of the global gladiators since the cotton-filled pillows of doom. Not only is this weapon insulting, it's fucking pathetic. True, it can kill most enemies in one hit, but the shot range is only a couple yards away from you. That's bullshit! Why can the enemies fire from off-screen while I'm not even able to shoot to the end of it? Not only that, but check this out. Did you see it? I just fell to my death thanks to the fucking recoil of this super soaker. When you fire the super soaker, you'll be pushed back, and if you're shooting like a mailman who lost his job, you'll move a solid several yards by the time you're done firing. And when you're on tiny platforms or near the edge of one when being attacked, it's all but guaranteed that you'll either take damage or fall. Who the fuck approved this? For crying out loud, it's a super soaker! How does it have so much recoil that it can push the character back? Either that super soaker was developed by the army, or this kid's the biggest wimp I've ever seen. Also, there is no invulnerability time after you take a hit. Normally I wouldn't bring a problem like this up, since I normally consider it a good way of challenging the player. But there are way too many times when you'll get ganged up on by 3 or 4 enemies that surround you on all sides. This game is tedious enough with all the other problems. Can't the developers just throw me a bone or something? What really kills this game, however, are the level designs. Very often, you don't know what's around you since you can't see far enough. This includes both enemies and platforms, meaning you're forced into faith jumping, which often results in jumping into enemies or something that delivers an instant kill. This is a platformer, for crying out loud! How the hell am I supposed to play this game if I can't see where I'm jumping? What the? You mean to tell me that I can't even jump on the enemies without taking damage? Jumping's considered a standard way of killing enemies in video games, so why can't I do it in this game? One of the only things that Virgin got right when developing this game was the sound. It's very crisp and clear, making it the selling point of the game. But unfortunately, they hoard this feature out with a bunch of sound effects that go along the lines of boing, cuckoo, ah, brrr, and just a bunch of cool things that the character says sometimes that makes you realize how much of a poser he really is. But you know, something's been bugging me about this game. It's just the way it plays. It's like I've played a game very similar to this before. A game that utilizes speed, having worlds that contain several different levels, and non-linear progressions throughout them. Oh my god! This is just a rip-off of Sonic the Hedgehog! That's exactly what this game is! The only problem is that Virgin forgot what made Sonic the Hedgehog such a great game, which was fast gameplay with well-designed levels. Virgin somewhat got the speed part down, but completely messed up with the level designs, making this game a total flop. This game is a behemoth of problems that amounts to nothing more than a frustrating and overly difficult game. It isn't the most challenging game I've ever played, but it's difficult for all the wrong reasons. And even if you do beat it, the game leaves nothing but a feeling of emptiness and lack of accomplishment as you understand that it's nothing more than a billboard for McDonald's. Unless you're a fan of McDonald's or just like playing really frustrating games, avoid this game at all costs. Trust me, your mental stability will thank you later. Well, that's all I have to say. Good fucking night. This video game review has been brought to you by Burger King. Remember, eat at our restaurants, or else the king will come by and shove our Whoppers down your throat. Bitches.